Alright, we're live here, guys. Who we got there? Jenny.
Jen?
Thank you for showing up. We're doing a follow-up interview with the soon-to-be cadet officer for Albuquerque Police Department. Hey, Howard County, Observer, Gregory. Good to see you guys. Howard County Observer, you were here the last time when we had him. John Little, welcome in. Let everybody say hi to each other. Now get warmed up, guys. Thank you, Howard. Thank you, Howard County. Yeah, if you got any questions, Gregory, for my friend here who's about to be a cadet for Albuquerque Police, go ahead and ask. Oklahoma Outlaw. Were you here the last time, Jenny, for that first interview we had? He hasn't started training yet. Tell him to ask me anything, guys. Don't forget to press that like, guys.
Jeez.
Yes, I am. Hey, jack off. Press harder. Yeah. Press harder. This guy is about to be a cadet. He's going to be an officer for Albuquerque Police. He hasn't started training yet, though. West Side Accountability. All right, you guys, whenever you feel comfortable, go ahead and start asking any questions you may have for him. There's your first question, man.
Boxers.
All right, guys, we're gonna test him. Of course, we all want to
When
know.
am I going to start? Soon. Soon. There's the Third Amendment. Is the Third Amendment? No, I don't.
No, he doesn't know. The Third Amendment is the right to stop soldiers from having quarters, taking quarters in your home.
Oh.
You can refuse them. You know, they like this. Oh, this is a war. We need to come into your house and use your house as a
Oh.
some kind of station or some kind of base or whatever. They don't have the right. You can refuse any soldiers or I would even say police officers.
Okay.
Any they already they need a warrant as it is to come into your home.
Right.
You would need a warrant.
What is the first 5 Bill of Rights?
The First Amendment. What's the First Amendment? You know.
Freedom of religion.
Speak
freedom.
up. Speak up. Speak up. They
Freedom
can't
of
hear.
religion, freedom to assemble, freedom of press, freedom of petition, and freedom of speech.
Then you know the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms.
Right to bear arms and right to assemble militia.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. In Mexico, it ain't the same though, right? In Mexico, you have
I don't know.
you have to have a home, right, or something like that. You have to have a house to bear arms.
I'm not sure. I don't
Have
know.
a gun. Gloria, glad to see you in the chat there. All right, Four Corners.
As a cop, would you arrest a yellow cop for breaking the law? Yeah, plead the fifth.
He knows the fifth, huh? All right, guys, this is your show. You have the opportunity. That's a good question. Well, can you elaborate on that? Let's elaborate on that question a little bit more. The question was, would you arrest another cop, right? Or what was it?
Would you arrest a fellow cop for breaking the law? Yeah.
Right? It's your partner, or maybe not even your partner. You see another cop out there who's beating up on some guy who's obviously defenseless. Right? You see another cop doing something bad. That shouldn't be too hard. You see another cop doing something wrong, yeah. Hey, you stop him and you let him know that's against law and he's breaking the law. And I'm sure you would stop him if you saw him trying to rob a bank or trying to rob some mom and pop store,
Yeah.
right?
No comment.
Hey, man. We need somebody who's gonna stand up to the bad guys that are right next to him. He may even have to be your boss, a supervisor that's doing something shady, or you think you gotta stand up. I know, man. He's I want to say, like most of us were raised, I guess, believing in the police and in our government and stuff like that, and only since he's met me, I've been showing him the contrast between uh, officers that think they know what the law is in comparison to what the law really is.
Do you feel like the general public is wrong in holding this thing towards law enforcement?
Do you think it's bad that there's a lot of people out there that don't like police officers.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? Because you're going to be coming into the game with knowing that all these people don't like officers. There's a lot of the public that don't like officers for whatever reason.
I don't have a comment for that right now.
There's going to be a lot of them that don't like you and that are going to, and it ain't going to be because of your fault. There's nothing you've done personally, right?
Right.
But because what they've experienced through other officers who are bad and violated their right because those officers didn't know their limitations. And so they have a distrust for police officers. And I'm sure you can understand that there's a lot of people, innocent people in jail that have been justified and let out, and it was because of the testimony of a bad officer that put him in jail. But there's let's just say there's officers out there that lie. basically lie or exaggerate to make themselves not look bad, or to justify what they're doing. So yeah, you're gonna have people that don't like you just because you're an officer,
Yeah.
because they've been done wrong by other officers that were bad. That's why it's important that when you do see an officer doing something wrong or doing something bad, that you call them out on it. And either you should be willing to arrest a fellow officer if you think he's doing something wrong. And hey, you can't do that. That's against the law. We're officers. We're supposed to be enforcing the law and protecting those rights. So it's your duty to stand up not just to criminals that are out there on the streets, those people that are doing that, but maybe the criminals that are inside. And it'd be good to have somebody that's gonna stand up to somebody doing something wrong. That's not just gonna comply to what they tell you. Somebody who has a moral value, that has a moral standard, that no, I'm not gonna do that, or I see you doing that, and you're gonna do something about it. And you call them out. You're gonna have to call them out. That's what these people are asking. They want you to be able to call out these guys that are gonna do bad. And I don't know, it make it tough for you at work, but you're not there to make friends anyway, right? You're there to help the public, serve the public, be that good person that you want to be as a police officer, right? Mhm. That cop, that idea that you have as an officer, when you go into it, you're going into it thinking, like you said on the last interview, I want to help people,
Yeah.
right? I want to be there for the public.
So
Mm.
your job will be to defend people's rights, not people's feelings. But you
Mm.
should be watching videos, good and bad. Some good cops end up not well, or even still a cop. Bad cops end up in jail. Also, not really your job to protect people's safety unless they are in your custody. Good question.
We talked about that the last time. We even joked. Okay, there was a question that I think it was Jenny that asked the last time if she was if she was watching the interview the last time, but she asked, how would you feel about killing somebody if you killed someone? Because recently there was a police officer in Albuquerque that that shot and killed this man. I guess he had a gun on him, and they didn't search him, and they put him inside the vehicle, and then they went to go talk to him and ask him some questions again, and they realized that he had a gun or something like that, and they started grabbing him and trying to hold him, Well, they ended up shooting him, killing him.
Oh, jeez.
But he was reaching for. He did have a gun on him, and he was trying to get it. And what his intent was, I don't know. I don't think it could have been too good. It just recently happened. Who's that? Oklahoma outlaw. Can't find it. It just recently happened. There's a. They even show the body cam and everything. It was a female officer. As a matter of fact, Denver Metro Audits, when he was here in Albuquerque, when we were going out and doing some recording, we recorded this one officer, this female officer, which happens to be the one who was involved in this shooting, who shot this man in the car. Howard County Observer. What was the question again? Let's see. Also here, this one right there. Is that the question? I'm not hearing my answers. Not even questions. Have you ever seen a protest? I doubt he's ever seen a protest.
Yeah.
Okay, if you guys asked the question and we haven't answered it yet, ask it again, okay? You know, it's kind of hard scrolling through it and trying to look for any certain question, but if we haven't asked a question or we haven't answered a question, ask us again so we can check it out, okay? So tell me, how much would that make you feel about maybe?
Get to lock up. No.
What did they ask you?
Has he ever been to lockup?
Never been to a lockup?
No.
Huh? Have you ever been in jail before?
No.
Okay. What do you think would what do you think is what would be reasons for going to jail? What kind of things? Would speeding be a reason to be taking somebody to jail?
I'm not sure. I'm not
Tough
sure.
question, man. These are tough questions. You know what I mean? And this is what you're gonna have to. Are you gonna do what's right, like what morals, or are you just gonna just do whatever the book says and just? Are you gonna look inside your heart and like really, does this person need to get a ticket? You know what I mean? And start have to have to go through the system, go to court, pay their $80 because we pulled them over for speeding. Uh, the true danger isn't in the speeding; it's in the it's in the accident.
Yeah.
When something happens, you want to try to prevent it, but you don't want to prevent it at the price of somebody else is trying to make someone else's life a hardship by giving them a ticket and they have to pay for a ticket for speeding, right? Now that they have less food on the table or well, they have to make do without that $80 now because they were speeding and you give them a ticket.
Well, if I can give an honest opinion, that is solely my opinion and does not reflect upon anybody or anybody else.
Does not reflect upon the department.
Correct. Well,
Okay.
solely my opinion is if someone is speeding and is excessive speeding,
Which would
And-
be like what? How many over the speed limit?
if they're going 80 on 55,
80 on a 55, so that would be 25 miles over the speed limit.
okay.
25 miles over the speed limit.
Now that's a little bit more dangerous than if you were going 25 over the speed limit on a street that's 25 miles an hour, because then you just be going 50.
Right.
And to me, my opinion, solely my opinion, it would be unfair if somebody got hurt because somebody would be driving recklessly. If the street is empty, there's just so many factors.
And there are.
So many factors.
And that's what you're there for, to weigh them out.
Yeah.
Using your compassion, the human side of you, not just this is the law. You're going over the speed limit. You're breaking the law. You as a person should be able to use your discretion and this guy was speeding. Yeah, he was speeding. Did he hurt anybody? No. Could he? Maybe. You use your judgment and discretion. Look around. Are there lots of people? A lot of people around. How dangerous was it? You stop him. You let him know. I think stopping him and letting him know is just as good as stopping him and giving him a ticket. The only difference is when they have to do that ticket, they have to get off work, take time off work, which means less money, and they probably have to pay the ticket too, which means more money coming out of their pocket.
Well, let me ask this question. If an individual is speeding, will he want to speed again if it hits his pocket? As opposed to, if the individual's already speeding and he gets a warning, which is fine.
Mhm.
is he more likely to speed again because he got a warning, or is he less likely to speed again if he also gets a ticket, if he gets a fine?
So, giving the ticket would be more like a something to disparage him from speeding again, is what you're trying to say, right?
No, I'm not trying to be the influence on his decision making. I think
Okay.
it's more of a guide to allow himself, or the individual, to weigh it out for himself. So next time he's speeding, he's like, man, I really don't want to get that ticket again.
Yeah, so
So
a warning should be sufficient, right?
is it? If the individual's already speeding, he hasn't weighed out. He is not using his morals. He, or the individual, is consciously making a decision where, if the situation if the situation calls, everything meets up, he can possibly end his life or somebody else's. The individual is not morally judging the situation.
Okay, so he's not using good moral judgment by going faster than the posted speed limit, is what you're saying. So he should be corrected somehow to discourage
Not
him.
not corrected.
Well, you want to
I don't want-
discourage him
I-
from speeding again.
Not discouraged. I would want the individual to start making wiser decisions.
Well, yeah, you know,
If
warning,
if it's viewed, and these are solely my opinions, if it's viewed as discouragement, there's presence there. But in all reality, if I were to issue out a ticket, or if an officer was to issue out a ticket, I would see it as he's helping this individual think to make better decisions.
he's discouraging him to speed again.
Not discouraging, encouraging me to not to morally make better decisions.
Okay.
I understand, yeah, there is a hardship that may come with it, and the individual might not be able to afford it.
Yeah. What if it is?
But
How?
is that a reason to put himself? Forget about everybody else that might all of a sudden go out in the middle of the night to go get, I don't know, you know. What about himself?
So you're bringing up the point that he should the driver, the person driving the car should be mindful of the speed limit.
He should be mindful of the situation where
Being safe, right? When
the individual can possibly create a situation that can be dangerous to himself and others.
okay, so he could. But does that mean he has?
Well, if
He
he's
hasn't.
going 25 over 55,
Yeah, let's say
it
he
could
is going.
it could be a dangerous situation for him.
It could be a dangerous situation. Yes.
If he can't afford to pay a ticket, well, maybe he doesn't have good tires on his vehicle.
Well, the fact of the matter is, if he's speeding, whatever the speed limit is, or however fast you're going, you should be going at a speed where you can control that vehicle,
Correct. That's
regardless of what the speed limit is.
because then you can avoid a potential dangerous situation
Right?
for the individual or anybody else on the street.
Yes, but who's to say what that speed limit is, right? The speed limits, right? Which are posted,
Correct.
right? Now those are determined by tests, Um, at this speed limit, it should be on main streets. A certain speed limit should be maintained at on certain streets. Residentials, it should be like 20, 25 to 30 on residential areas on the main streets. 40.
Okay.
Um, and those are the posted speed limits that say that this is a safe speed limit to drive. But should you be getting punished if you go over that speed limit even though you're still driving safe? Of course, if you go higher than that speed limit, your chances of getting in an accident or hurting somebody are higher. But that doesn't mean that you will. So should you just be punished for the possibility of possibly hurting somebody? Be punished for it?
Well, you're not.
Because you might. So you should be punished for it because you might hurt somebody. Or you can hurt somebody.
Well, my sole opinion would be that it's.
And
If
what
you-
your opinion is somewhat like the
If you view
the
it,
state,
if
the
you-
police.
if you view it as a punishment instead of a lesson, then it's just gonna be that.
Well, you're a grown man. Do you need to
So you
be?
should morally be able to judge a situation.
Yeah,
Now,
so-
now, if you wanna put yourself in danger, and you wanna put the person driving next to you in danger, then you're just a shit person.
Yes, if you're putting him in danger, but who's to say who's putting who in danger if no danger has come upon them?
Yeah.
Then who's to say
Only
that
the
the
individual,
danger is?
only the individual who's making the dangerous situation. The individual would know if he has ball tires. The individual would know if he can control a vehicle at a certain speed.
Yeah, so let's say the
individual-
speed limit's 50.
Yeah.
And hey, I know I can go faster than 50 and keep this car under control. And you go 60.
How many people do you know that actually say that to
60.
themselves? I can go I can go
60,
this fast and
60
keep.
just 10 more miles over the speed limit, right? It's not that much more.
Okay. How many?
5 miles over the speed limit?
How many people do you
It's
know
okay.
that actually ask themselves that?
Well,
Speed limit is 55. I think I can control this vehicle at 105.
okay. Okay, so that's
I don't have any problem.
that's an exaggeration there, right? But let's just say, let's keep it more realistic. Speed limit's 50. I want to go a little bit more fast. 55. I'm start pushing 55. Start pushing it to 57, 58. Okay, so now I'm going 58. I'm pushing it, right? I've already five miles over the speed limit on 55. No big deal, right? Or yes? No? Yes? And these are hashing out, the details and like really, then you start realizing that, okay, well, that's where, you're using your discretion and like, who's to say to set the limit at a certain mark, right? Because let's say 50 is, they say that's safe. Well, I'm going to go 55. That's not too much over. What do you do? Or how? Is that much more dangerous? And you go, 1 mile every time. Just push it 1 more mile per speed limit.
It just, my sole opinion would be, there's so many factors involved. It's hard to judge it from the outside. Only the individual driving the vehicle knows if if the vehicle is going at a dangerous speed. If he fails to morally make a
Okay,
decision, then it's unfortunate if he hurts somebody else. It's unfortunate if the individual hurts himself.
yeah. And those are called consequences, right? those should be enough to discourage someone from driving reckless and driving stupid, basically, right?
And I don't know the stats for automobile wrecks, for vehicle collisions. I don't know the stats, but I imagine that they're still happening,
Regardless, right?
regardless.
Whether
And
they are going the speed limit or they're not going the speed
and how
limit.
many of those accidents involve another vehicle?
Most of them, I would say, right? I would think so too.
Let's just say that it's half. Let's just say that it's half.
But do you need a ticket to tell you to slow down?
It's a ticket.
Do you need a financial hardship to discourage you to drive slower or to drive safer or whatever you want to call it?
If you view it as being discouraging, then that's what you'll see it as. If, it, in my opinion, it's just something else to weigh out the options. Because if an individual is already creating a dangerous situation, he obviously doesn't really have that many. Maybe he's just not. Maybe the individual is not maybe capable at the moment to make a good judgment call. But if it hits his pocket, if it hits the individual's pockets, then it's just another reason to make a better decision. To make a better decision, not to discourage anything. It's more to encourage a better decision, in my opinion,
Not
in my
to
sole opinion.
discourage, but to encourage.
Yes, a better decision for himself.
But it may be encouraging to others, but it's discouraging to him, to the individual, because he's has to give up money that he had planned to for his car bill, or now he's late.
Maybe he can take the
Everything was
bus
short.
and make up that money.
That's very nice of you to, but that doesn't cut it.
These are just my opinions, not anybody
Wow.
else's.
Unfortunately, that's not something that'll do. That will work. Because you know what I mean. When that money didn't have to come out from them in the first place, when all they needed was a pullover, sir, could you slow down? Think about the other people around you. Let's try to be safe, and let's make it a good day to where everybody goes home.
But he's already speeding. If thinking about the other people around him.
Have you ever
Did-
speeded? He's going, didn't realize he's going fast. He's going, oh, how fast are you talking about? You know, like we were saying. There's 5 miles over the speed limit. There's 25 miles over the speed limit.
There's a lot of
Where's your... See, you're using your discretion to your own personal judgment, basically. You're using your own judgment. When you become an officer, you're showing that you're going to use your own judgment on, oh, okay, I think 8 miles over the speed limit is going too much. 10 miles over is too much. 11, once you go 11, that's too much. You're going too fast. You're being too dangerous. You're being selective now and using your own judgment. You know what I mean? You're using your own personal judgment. Okay, 5 miles over the speed limit, 8 miles over the speed limit. 9, you cut it. That's too much for me. I think that's too much. I don't want you to even go up to 10. 8 miles over the speed limit is too much, and I need to write you this ticket to encourage you to drive better, sir.
No, not to drive better. To be more mindful, to encourage a more mindful decision.
Well, then I think to encourage a mindful
Because
decision,
if he's
you
not-
can just
if the-
tell him.
If the
Make him
individual's
aware.
already speeding, I mean, what does that show? That the individual already doesn't care about the people around him. Maybe he's selfish. a
Maybe
little bit.
that
Maybe-
person was using the judgment. Hey, I'm gonna be aware. I'm making sure there's nobody around me. So I'm going faster. So
There's
I'm
nobody.
gonna make it
There's nobody around him, and he wants. And it would be unfortunate if the individual still hurt themselves.
What if they don't hurt themselves? Then there was no worry to worry about anything in the first place. Because they're driving perfectly safe, even at a higher speed limit
Yeah.
than posted. They can still.
Hey,
Who
and,
says that you can't drive
and wouldn't it be great?
safe?
And wouldn't it be great if they made it to where they were going every time
Yeah.
without hurting themselves or somebody else?
And who's to say?
And how
Who's to say?
And how many accidents happen every day?
And who's to say? Yeah.
Not
Even
for
at the-
speeding.
Yeah.
It could be for
Not
different
even for
reasons.
speeding. Yeah.
But might speeding be a factor?
Could you speeding? Yeah, it could be a factor.
Factor in all those accidents.
As soon as you start moving forward, it's going to be a factor. You backing up and beep, oop, bump into somebody right behind you. Oops, you aren't even going fast. You're just backing up to getting out of the parking lot and getting into an accident. Not because you're going fast, just because that's life. You're not paying attention. There's going to be consequences. There's going to be consequences if you are operating dangerously. If it's a car, if it's machinery, whatever the case may be. You need you use your discretion on how you're being safe to make sure you're safe and everyone else is
Use your
safe.
discretion to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah, and that person who's driving over the speed limit is using discretion, like, oh, this is too slow for me. You know, I'm wanting to get to this place a little sooner, a little faster. I can get there without getting
Yeah.
in an accident.
Yeah.
I can be safe.
Yeah.
But the state is determining that you can, right?
No.
Which you're representing the state. Which you'll be representing the city or the state. Do cops get tickets for crashing? I wonder. I don't think they get tickets for crashing. All right, guys. Got any questions? We were just kind of talking and discussing all this about. Let's see, he's not allowed to show bias. We know he will, though. yeah, right. He's gonna show his own. Like I was just saying, he's gonna use his own. What was the word I was looking for? Because you're using like a, you know what I mean, 5 miles over speed limit, is that okay? Selective. You're using your own personal selective decisions on, you know, where that, you know, where you think is dangerous. The speed limit is set at 50. Well, okay. I'll let people go over 5 miles over the speed limit. You know, I think that's okay. But over 56 that's just too much. Then then you're starting to get dangerous. You understand what I mean? You're being selective. You're using your own. What did he say? How did you say, Howard Counter? Your own bias. You're being selective about your own bias, and you're gonna say, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
I have no comment on that at the moment.
Come on, man. Come on. You know, you're using your own judgment. You know what I mean? You know, the states and the city is setting these like expectations of safety or laws or whatever. And then as a police officer, they use their own bias and they start, well, that's okay. I'm going to let that slide. And you're selective about, officers will be selective about how they help or who they help or when they help. And that's just a small example are speed limits. Every police officer will have their own limit. Mine is over 10 miles over the speed limit. I'm gonna give him a ticket. I'm gonna pull him over. Other officers will be, oh no. I'll give him 11. If it's after 11 miles over, and then I'm gonna pull him. No, I'll be 13 over. Then I know they're going too fast.
I don't know how. I have no comment about other officers.
But yourself. So what would you say? Are you gonna arrest anybody or pull them over for driving 1 mile over the speed limit? Because that's a speed limit. 1 mile over the speed limit. Or are you gonna give him a break? He's just going over. He's going 3 miles over the speed limit. Yeah, you know, I'm putting you on the spot. You know what I mean? Because when I put you on the spot like that, then you start realizing that, oh, you can't really exactly determine what.
There's too many factors.
Yeah, you can't exactly say. So when you're an officer out there trying to enforce like the speed limit, you're doing it based on your own bias and on your own discretion and picking out what you think is dangerous and what you feel is too much on this day. You know, today I'm in a bad mood, so I'm not gonna deal with anybody going over the speed limit today. See, that's kind of, you know, how officers use their own bias in pulling over, and they don't just use that for speeding. They use it in all kinds of contexts, as in trespassing, domestic violence. They start, oh, maybe they might pick the girl first right away. Oh, she's a girl. You know, start getting on her side right away. Or just maybe it might be the opposite. Girls always get the easy side, so I'm gonna give the guy the break. You come off with an idea right off the bat. We're all, I think, could fall into that. Right? We're all kind of biased to something, or maybe a little selective to certain things. You're my buddy. You know, even though you're being a cop, I'm I give you the benefit of the doubt, even though I don't like, you know, some of your stances. But you know, I give you a little bias because I know you, and I know you're not really a bad guy, but I think some of your ideas are are over the top or too statist, too too ruling by the government. You know what I mean? I feel like you're somewhat indoctrinated, like most Americans, and ignorant of our rights too. Ignorance of our rights and what the government's real duty is, what they're really supposed to be doing is supposed to be helping us carrying on our lives that what we want to do, not for them telling us to stop doing things.
Yeah.
But let's see. Look at some of the questions there. See what they're saying. You want some popcorn?
I'm okay, man. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Said find a different job. He's not going to answer to incriminate himself. Did you read that one?
Those, those are just my opinions, my views, solely my views.
Yeah, but don't you think your views will affect what you're doing when you're out there on the streets? If you have views that don't align with the Constitution and the law, then what you're going to be doing is violating that law. If you don't have the comprehension, and if you don't, you're just going to do what they train you in the academy. You're just going to do what they tell you without question, basically. Just do what you're told. Like the Nazis were. The Nazis, they're just doing what their officer told them to do. Let's get them all together. Put them in the train. Okay. You heard him. Everybody line up. That's why it's important to know the Constitution. To know when these legislators are overstepping their boundaries, you're the first responders to protecting our rights, because those legislators are just passing laws that they're just passing laws that are good for their business or for their company or whatever, and they're not thinking about the individual right of that person. So that's why it's important for our officers who make an oath, swear an oath to the Constitution, to the basic foundations of the supreme law that upholds our rights, our natural, inherent inalienable rights. And when you know that, you don't you won't just succumb to them telling you what to do and you just following orders. Because you already got the supreme law to go by, and they need to be going by it too. And unfortunately, these days, they wanna supplement safety for your rights. Well, it's gonna be safe if you do this. If you just put away your guns and you let the police take care of you. That don't work. Well, it's gonna be for your safety. That way people don't get hurt. You give up your guns, and we're gonna get more police officers. We're gonna get more police officers, enough officers to have on every street. And that way you don't have to carry a gun. You won't have to have one. We'll have the officers. That's what they're trying to push. So much safety that you're not even gonna need your rights. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense to you? That just have so much officers that you don't need to have guns, right? Because every officer has a gun and they'll be there for you.
It is my sole opinion.
Is
that I don't have an opinion on that yet.
well, that's what we want to try to give you an opinion to go into the academy. So you just ain't going in there and they're just filling you with whatever. You got to be going in there knowing that there's law. These people got to follow the law too. You guys got to follow the law. You guys they just can't make up laws.
Whoa, what do you mean, you guys?
That
sounds a little. That sounds a little.
You guys are gonna be, you're gonna be one of them guys. And he's too far into the thin blue line, gang. He's like, does for the record think this pig is his son? No, I argue with him, guys, a lot. You know, I mean, we have our mutual disagreements on a lot of stuff. You know, I mean, like I said, I've been wanting to interview him for a long time, and we always joked about it because right, we find different views on stuff, and of course, he's a little bit more of the devil's advocate, I guess you could say. He's a little bit more on the side of the devil's advocate, not so much just you know, more on the there's a reason for rules, which I understand. You know, there's a reason for rules and why we follow rules and abide by the law. But that's what we're asking from our police officers, to follow the law as well as we're supposed to be doing. And that's where we find the discrepancy between the officers and the public when especially when the public does know their rights and the officer isn't aware of the Constitution. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Constitution. And let me read you something real quick here. This is called the Supremacy Clause. Let's see. And this whole book's good, man. But anyways, you got the limitations of the government and the rights of the people. And the Supremacy Clause is that these laws overrule any other law there is out there. This is the supreme law. And any law that doesn't go by this is not valid. Is not withstanding. Give me a second here. So what do you expect from when you go into training?
Well, at the moment, I don't have a comment for that.
No, but when he does go start training, hopefully he'll be able to talk to me guys and we'll be able to communicate with him and see what they're teaching him and get an inside look on what they're telling him and yeah, just to see what how they train him to react to the public. It seems like they make the public the enemy, especially if they don't know you.
They make the public the enemy.
Mm-hmm. A lot of officers will always use the excuse, "Oh, I don't know you. Step back. You could be dangerous."
Well, that doesn't sound like a lie, though.
And it doesn't sound like a truth. They don't know.
And solely in my opinion, that doesn't sound like a lie.
Just because you don't know the public doesn't make them a danger. Need some questions. What did he got for you? What time is it?
It's 8:30.
Is it 8:30?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna end this interview. If you guys got any last minute questions or statements to give this bootlicker. They saying anything?
No, not a whole lot.
No. All right, guys, we're gonna finish this interview here, but I got the supremacy clause right here, and it says, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made, or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and all judges in every state shall be bound thereby, and anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary is notwithstanding." Meaning that those laws that these legislators make, the counselors make, they don't go by this. And policies or whatever the case may be is not lawful. They're going against our rights. They always got to use this to make their rules. Whenever they make another rule or another law or something like that, they got to keep this in mind when they're making those laws. And that's why it's important for you as an officer to know this, because these guys are just making whatever laws they want, just for safety or for their business or for whatever their purpose is, their own agenda. It's up to you to defend our rights and make sure they're not violating them by passing these laws. And you have it's not just telling people what to do and telling people how to be safe.
It's
The people are not going to be safe. They're not going to be safe. They're going to end up hurting people regardless. And you're not going to be able to catch everybody.
No.
It's a bigger job than you can deal with, and any that the city or state can deal with.
Yeah.
And having officers there to give out tickets to just encourage you
It's
is not.
flip the pages. You know, it's maybe.
You're not, yeah. You're not helping anybody by giving people tickets out. You're helping them by stopping them and telling them, hey, be careful. Next day they're doing it again, pull them over. Waste their time. You're wasting their time. They're going late to work. You know what I mean? Stop them. You don't need to give them tickets. You don't have to be a road pirate.
But then
Be
they'll be late to work and they'll get fired.
Well, that's their fault. You didn't do nothing to him. You didn't. All you did was tell him to be safe. They should be doing. Right? But
It's moral.
tickets
Moral
ain't
judgment.
gonna make it any better.
I bet it feels really nice too.
See that ballpoint pen
That's
roll.
only my sole opinion.
All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this follow-up interview with him. I don't know if we didn't really get to go through any questions on there, but you see how it starts off. You see where they start shining the boots, and you don't need officers that are gonna just follow laws blindly, but they're gonna do what's morally right for everybody. They're gonna do what's good for everybody, and not just hurt them, put a hardship on anyone. We want good officers. We want you to be a good officer. I don't know how good he's gonna be, guys. I can't promise anything, but I'll be keeping a camera on him, and I'll be watching him, and I'll keep him transparent, and I'll keep him accountable, guys. And well, that was for the record. And leave any comments or anything else. Let's see. He just laughed on the inside because he's a horrible person. See the impression you're giving everybody? I'll read the comments, man. I gotta read the comments. You guys take care and watch it. Be careful out there, because there's
Oh jeez.
cops out there that just want to prove to you that you don't know how to be safe. So they're gonna have to keep you safe, tell you how to be safe. They want to be your daddy, tell you how to drive slower, pull you over.
Your papa.
Thank you for coming over, man. I don't think it's ever over. We're gonna want to know what you're going through on your training, and let us know. And I can't help it, guys. You know what I mean? We joke a lot too, but of course there's a little truth in his tyranny. There's a little truth in his tyranny, and I guess that's the way things are.
Yeah.
That's how the way things are. But we all got to get along. We got to all realize that we're all people. We're all humans, and hopefully he'll see that side. Alright, man, we'll see you later. Let's see, the next time, do another interview. We're gonna have to go through all the live comments on here and see what everybody said.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Alright, man, cool. We'll catch you later.
Later, dude.
Alright, guys. Let's see what we got here. Dismissed. Well, you know, guys, I wanted to do this to try to teach him something so we can try to give him try to teach him a little something about what he's going to be doing. Yeah, he's I don't know what to say about it. You know, I mean, he's definitely a status. He's the typical citizen who believes in policing and think it's the police are there for a good reason or whatever. You know what I mean? Hey, he didn't really know how to answer. I think he was having a hard time answering the question, only because I think he really didn't have an answer for those questions because he never thought about him in that sense. And I told him that you guys are gonna, you guys are gonna be hard on him and really put him in and really he didn't know how to answer because those are hard questions that he never thought about before to think of. Yes, he did answer. He got him all right. Yeah, we gave it to him last time, and he remembered. So he made an honest effort to put that into memory. So that's a good thing. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys' time. It's a small win, but I still think he still needs more help in understanding really what true freedom is, what real true freedom is, and that's not having to follow whatever laws are made. All right, guys. You be careful too. Appreciate it, guys, and that was for the record, guys. We're gonna end it here. Thanks a lot, man.